Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for stopping in with me today. I wanted to take the time to show you guys around and see like what is happening this time of the year. We are coming in to, this is the beginning of September, but dates don't really matter so much. Like when you're a gardener, you just learn how to read the weather more or less. So I'm coming into late summer weather, early fall weather, which means a lot of wind, random bursts of rain, and possible like cooling down of the weather significantly, like pretty quickly. And that does tend to put some plants into overload and they start producing heavier, and other plants tend to slow down and kind of go through like a freak out period. Either way, I still have a lot of really pretty things going. Some things look a little rough around the edges. I wanted to show you some garden triumphs that I had this year, and I wanted to show you some garden failures that I had this year. Hopefully me showing you my failures will make you feel less disheartened when you have garden failures, because it happens. That's why you always plant more than you actually need, so that when something fails, you're not just completely done for the year. So let me take the time to show you, walk you around, and then we'll see what's happening the end of August, beginning of September. A lot of harvesting has been happening already. I will show some pictures of some like daily harvest. Some went in between, like maybe 3 days in between harvest, but it's been pretty consistent, and I'd love to show you those pictures. So stick around at the end for some good imagery of some of the things that I've appreciated the most in the garden, some of the flowers and things. So anyways, let's do it. So here I have my Catalini beans. Now I did plant way more than this, but a third of them got ripped up by a bunch of squirrels, or at least one squirrel, I'm not sure, but I was pretty sad about that. So I have a lot of gaps in there, so I put some peppers in here, even though I had a spot for them by the tomatoes. But you know, just make use of your space. So the peppers have been coming in. I've already harvested a few off of them. These are the Jimmy Nardello peppers, love these. The Catalini bean is a dried bean, so you wait until it dies off, like this one is here. Okay. And then once it's completely dry, which right now, I just came out and checked these today, this one is still a little soft. You want it completely dry. It sounds dry, but you can feel that it's still a little squishy. So I'm gonna leave this. But all of these guys will eventually die off, and when you pop them open, you'll have a beautiful dried Catalini bean for storage, which is great. Of course, still got the catmint going. I am definitely going to cut it back heavy this next year because I don't quite want it to get that big. I would have liked to have popped some lettuces in here for the guinea pigs, but these guys are kind of trying to flush back now that it's cooling down a little bit. But in the middle of the summer, these guys get hit with a lot. But they're so pretty. Those are the super petunias. Over here, this one is much happier, of course. These Jimmy Nardello peppers, I just harvested, I think 5 or 6 of those today. My dahlias, oh, they're making me so happy. Look at the size of that. It's not quite like dinner plate size, but I mean, it's big. And this guy is just loaded with buds. Makes me very happy. Raspberries have lulled back, but they'll probably set buds again for the fall, so nothing from there right now. Radishes coming in really well. More radishes, backing them up. Cucumbers, been harvesting from them. These are the onions that didn't do very well. Not sure if it's the container or if it's the seed or what. A bunch of alyssum. Here is a garden fail. So this, while it is still growing, this is a French melon, and I'm not going to tell you the seed source because I don't want to disrespect them. It might very well be something I did. Maybe it's not container, not something that you can grow in a container, possibly. I'm not sure. I've never tried it. So, but the intention was for this to be, at this point, up and over this trellis right here. But instead, this is what I'm working with. This is an eggplant that my daughter popped in here. It's all fresh, like with compost and everything. The onion greens are doing really well. I've companion grown a lot of things together, but perhaps this is the problem. I'm not sure. So it might be too much going on in this container. It is a large container, so I am surprised. These cosmos. Now these act as a great windbreak, which is why I like to plant these here. I get a huge winds that will come right through here, and they break against these things before they get to my beauties here. So this is the pineapple tomato. I just harvested one today. I will show you the images at the end of what it looks like sliced open. These, I believe, are the mortgage lifters, but I did lose a tag. These are... Oh, these are the Armana tomatoes. So the mortgage lifter is the one that didn't make it, that was over there. I believe that there was a squirrel involved. Squirrels are a problem. Here I have a volunteer grape tomato coming in, a cherry tomato, excuse me. The strawberries are popping off. I've been harvesting like a couple here and there, but in the fall these will just be completely loaded. So pretty happy with that. They're starting to fill in back there. I'm going to let them because that's unutilized space. This guy is also a great windbreak. The peas, I think these guys are shading them out a little bit, but the peas didn't really come up super strong this second round. It might have just been too hot, and they do really well in cool weather, so I have plenty of time with these guys, so hopefully they'll perk up. The broccoli is finally starting to bounce back from being demolished. A lot of lettuce has been harvested out. I have more seedlings in there. More kales and spinaches and stuff, things that'll do well in cold weather. And yeah, that's basically, oh, and the green beans, of course. I've been harvesting tons of green beans from here. I had cabbages back there that like came up, were looking gorgeous, and then they just went to seed. So that was another garden fail. So like this year is triumphs and stuff. Back in there I have a bunch of carrots I've been pulling from. Those are great. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. Back in that planter, I have a sweet pea doing super well, several of them planted. And then in front, I have more radishes, but those are like the, I forget the name, but they grow like carrots, which should be interesting. The sunflowers and zinnias that my daughters planted are looking happy, as well as these beasts. Oh my. That's about 10 feet or so, maybe a little taller. So, and they're just loaded with pollinators. A lot of diversity gets added to the garden when you put sunflowers in. Predators and everything come in and they take care of all the little guys throughout your garden. Sunflowers, I definitely recommend them. Thank you so much for checking in and hanging out and walking through my garden with me. This year, I would say that I produced maybe about 40% of my produce throughout this growing season. So starting in about June to, I'm sure this will last all the way through about the end of October. So that's a decent amount of time where I didn't have to buy the grocery store and I was eating organically grown food that I know exactly what process went through for it to be grown and how it was treated since, you know, harvesting, and I got to eat it fresh and I got to eat in season, which your body absolutely loves you for. So I'm super grateful for that. I already have some ideas for some improvements for next year, and that's just what it's all about, is like learning and evolving, and it gets you more involved in what's going into your body, which will result in beautiful things. So I'm really proud of what I've made happen here, and I'd like to show you some images now of throughout the season of like different harvests and different beautiful things that I've gotten to experience because of this. So thank you.